into the blue. Photosynthesize and put down your roots, drawing life sustenance from the decay into the blue. And roots down to into the decay and the death, drawing sustenance from that which once before killed us, drawing nourishment from our own death, perhaps. Just got through shooting this stream crossing sequence here at this little footbridge. Still familiarizing myself with the ins and outs of what it's like to produce oneself, to understand that the message that is in here has depth and has worth. And this is what we are each to discover for ourselves, yes? And this is what we are to show, as the Christ showed us, how to die a death and to experience a resurrection. We are empowered through the memory of this life that shows us the way, that is the way. And we, as far as I understand, we become the way as we become love, as we become synonymous with God. They will know us by our love. Until we are known by our love, let's just keep talking about it, okay? I think it would be better to love. So on a windy day like today, as far as the music goes, what I'm looking for is a protected space, which could also serve as an acoustic chamber for the music too. So that's what I'm in search of. I see something that might suffice over there. These logs that seem to have fallen, maybe. There is a sense about me that understands the need to reclaim words like the Christ and God. And I see very clearly how many of us are stuck in a very adolescent stage of ascension to Christhood. I believe that's the goal here. There's a death that happens, the death of us, and the Christ is born in us. And there are certain metaphysical constructs that are inherent in rigid fundamentalism, which are harmful. So a misuse of the word Christ is reason to approach that word Christ again and say, okay, I see what you're saying about the word Christ. And here is how I understand that to be true. So I'm saying yes to what you're saying, also understanding that this, whatever is true about this, needs to be expanded upon, right? There's an expansion of our consciousness, what we can actually grasp of the truth, right? Or as physical beings with brains in this time circle. Yes. Nested truth. Ta-da. Ta-da. So we need to understand physical observations such as evolution, because these help us to understand what the evolution of consciousness is like in this time circle. And that just becomes another way to describe what it's like to wake up. Ta-da. 13.8 billion years so fun, I'll do it again. To move from the inertness we estimate by our physical measurements, that somehow 13.8 billion years seems like the beginning of what we know to be our universe. So we get this puzzle, right? We get to start connecting these pieces and trying to come to some kind of understanding what the physical world is, what is this all made of, and we eventually run into the examination of our own consciousness. For 4.5 billion years ago, this planet is in basically the form it's in now. It's going to undergo a whole bunch more asteroid storms, and then there's still this great mystery of biogenesis. At what point did all the non-conscious material become conscious? And there are obviously many theories about that, and that's interesting stuff to read about. That's cool stuff. It's great to contemplate the beginning of life, right? Because it stretches our logical mind, and we exercise our reason, and we push ourselves with this into this reason. We push ourselves with this reason, and we come hopefully to the exhaustion of logic, when we understand that all logic systems have deep limitations. Cause and effect, as we discover the quantum, is not quite enough to describe the whole of reality. It can get us to the moon, but the deeper we look, the more we realize that there is a void there. It's all made of nothing. It's an illusion, a hologram, some say. The entirety compacted into every individual manifestation. And this is how we integrate all the past wisdom, is because it's still with us. Our ancestors are still with us, and our descendants actually are with us also. So we're reaching and understanding ourselves as this one consciousness. And I believe this is a helpful metaphysical construct, because with that oneness comes strength as we understand ourselves to be not separate from all that was and will be. Time, physics has shown us, is not quite as rigid as we thought it was. It seems that way to our brains, our minds in this realm. And this is also what Jesus, when he was here, prayed. Father, may they know that they're one with you as I know I am one with you. So, there you go. Where do we draw those lines, right? The tree of life, Darwin's tree of life. It's important stuff. Those were deep, important discoveries along our way. And if we demonize any of that, then we are actually in denial of the truth. This is what it means to come forward. We must process these things. We must exercise great discipline and devotion and watch this great intelligence arise. It's very important. We must educate ourselves. Very important. We move into the blue, and we're finding our roots too.